Speech audiometry helps audiologists answer questions regarding a patient's degree of disability in speech communication, a patient's most comfortable and uncomfortable listening level, their range of comfortable loudness, and their ability to discriminate and recognize speech sounds. So this gives us more information about how a person is understanding speech, which is really important because at the end of the day, we're concerned about their speech, their ability to communicate and participate, and not necessarily their ability to hear beeps. So the test environment, again, you have those 1 or 2 room suites. You could have recorded material, so word lists on CDs. Word lists on CDs provide consistency. The presentation level is that you don't have to worry about the audiologist's accents or the audiologist speaking too quickly. It's standardized. Live voice is also another way to do speech audiometry, and that's more flexible. You can move a little faster with live voice. So there are benefits to both options. The patient has to know and understand the words that they're being tested on. So these word tests are not tests of vocabulary. I don't care if you understand the word, if you know what the meaning of a word is. I just want you to be able to hear the word and repeat the word. Okay, so speech audiometry is not a test of a person's vocabulary. Responses can be obtained with an oral response. So I'll say the word ball, and the patient's expected to say the word ball back. Or written response if the patient is unable to speak. So write the word ball, and the patient writes the words ball. Or through identification of pictures, which is more common than a written response. So point to the ball, and the patient would have different pictures in front of them and then have to point to the ball. So that pointing of a picture is good with patients that have, for young children. Responses can be spoken. So I have the person say the word back to me, and the advantage of that is there's speed. You can make rapport with the client. The disadvantage is there could be misinterpretations, or non-native speakers may be marked incorrectly because of their accents, or you might misunderstand a person. Written responses could be scored upon completion, but with written responses, it slows the test down. You have to worry about handwriting and spelling. This eliminates the error of a person's speech being confused by a person's accent or not understanding them, and you can provide a record of responses, but most commonly used is a spoken response. There's also, like I said, this picture or object test. This is good for patients that, for young children, because this isn't a test of expressive language, it's a test of receptive language, or older adults that have had strokes and maybe can't communicate orally. False responses may occur, but false positives are theoretically impossible. A patient can't repeat words presented to them if they're below their threshold. They're not going to hear them unless the audiologist is careless and they're able to read the audiologist's face. False negatives, you just re-instruct and make sure the patient understands the directions. What you should do is convey what is expected, both written and verbal instructions, gestures with small children. Make sure you keep your face covered during the live voice testing so that the patient isn't involved or getting visual cues.